So a couple videos ago, we looked at type conversion, where you, as a developer, you want to change a string to a number or a number to a string. In this video, we're going to look at type coercion, which is more implicit. And typically, coercion happens when you apply operators to values that have different types. So what I'm going to do is just create a variable of x, and I want to console log the value of x and also the type. And the reason I do this is just so we don't have to create a bunch of different variables. So let's say we want x to equal the number 5 plus the string with 5 in it. And let's see what we get. So if we look in the console, you'll see we get 55, but we get it as a string. So this is an example of type coercion where JavaScript implicitly changed this to a string. All right, because what happened here is it was concatenated with the plus sign. So if I were getting a string for some reason and I wanted to add it, then I would convert this first. So for example, actually, let's just copy it down because I like you guys to have all the code we write. And let's just wrap this in a number. And then that will obviously add them together because now this is a number. Now, what if we were to say x equals 5, and then let's multiply a string? What do you think we're going to get here? So if I save that, we get 25, which is a number. So JavaScript, in this case, did the opposite. It converted or coerced this string into a number. And the reason for that is because if you use multiplication between strings, that doesn't make any sense. You're not going to get anything from that. So JavaScript decided to coerce it to a number so it could be multiplied. So let's see what happens if we do x equals, and let's say 5 plus null. In that case, we just get 5 as a number. So null is actually coerced into a 0. And we can see that if we do, let's say x equals, and we'll use the number method here and pass null in, and you'll see we get 0. Okay, and you can use this on anything, this number. So if I say number, let's do, copy that down, we'll do true and false. I'm just going to comment out this one to see what we get for true. You can see we get 1. So true as a number is 1. False as a number is 0. So with that said, what do you think happens if we say, let's add 5 plus true? Let's go ahead and save that. We get 6 because true is being coerced into a number and true as a number is 1. Okay, same if we do, let's say 5 plus false. Obviously, we're going to get 5 because false is 0 as a number. And again, we're going to talk about truthy and falsy values in a little bit. So if we do, let's say x equals 5 plus undefined, we get nan, which is not as a number. Now remember, in the, what was it? Was it the last video? I think it was the last video where we talked about nan. And if we add anything to undefined, then we're going to get nan, okay, including itself. So now you should be pretty familiar with types. We have our 7 primitive types, and then we also have reference types or objects. And we talked about how they're stored in memory. We talked about implicit and explicit type conversion or coercion. So what I want to do now is focus on individual types such as strings and numbers and start to look at how we can use them, manipulate them, use some of the methods that we can use with strings and numbers, and just get you a little more familiar with that. All right, so we'll look at strings next.